First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to 54.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
It's just me. 47. Go, get out there, Tighten up.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. And he fires one incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrad Davis. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Just like that. Just like that. 21. Hurry.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, 2nd-year man out of Auburn. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
57. Mike, 57.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
You're not ready. You're not ready. Tight dog. 21.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Meanwhile, here, a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Set. 180. Zero. I got one.
Now on 2nd and 16. Stafford, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
55, my God, 55.
Now Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The end result, 21 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
57 to Mike. Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day. Under crunch.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Elliott running right. And an alley to run. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Kill. 47.
On second down, it's Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. There he goes, Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Hey, Blue 60, 6-7. Come on. You better break it. Hey, Zoo. Silver.
Stafford now to throw. He's going to loft one deep left. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They start on the ground with Elliott, and he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
These two teams all tied after 1. On second down now, it's Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 94 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
I smell fear in that offense. Alert!
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford caught on the right side by Jones. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first down carry here for Johnson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. C.J. Anderson, the intended target. And that'll make it third down.
Ready? 20. Double dog. That's the way. 32. Check Mike 57.
Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sean Lee, the longtime vet, getting in and getting to the QB.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And some space here. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Here we go. 56. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Check it back. Check 99. Here we go. 46.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. He's got the first down here inside the 30. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Hey, kill.
Prescott from the gun. And that's Elliott, complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make this a second down. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions. And you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year. But he's really on the uptick. They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5.
Go.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Now it's Stafford. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 16 yards, a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
After the sack on 1st down, Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
40 got. 55.
Here's Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working.
Alert 3.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Cowboys are going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
46. Under.
Now Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. Now Elliott. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They come out here in the eye.
All day, dog. He's coming to 47.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Mike, 55. Right there. In the middle. Double up. Hey, orbit. 55, Mike, 55. Hey, eat.
The shotgun snap for Stanford. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
55.
The final shot before the break. Stanford airing one deep for Curse. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And they're going to stop him short of the 20 with a penalty flag down. And what's the call here? Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 40 now on second down. Stafford, he's going to loft it, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. 3rd and long for Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Mike 7. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Hey, wahoo. 57 to Mike. Mike 57. Sit on.
On the toss, here's Johnson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line linebackers really work well together.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Possibly a good spot here to take a shot as they come out with 3 receivers to the left on second and less than a yard. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Go, get out there.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Devon Kennard coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Agnew now to return. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told, and the Lions will take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check. Lucky. Hey.
To throw is Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. From the 44, Prescott, rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Jones coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Third down. 3rd and 10.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Hey, we got 47. Mike, towards his head. You must be 40 Mike. We're going to 54, 26.
Prescott down. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford is going to float this over the middle. He's got a man complete. A heck of a way to start the fourth quarter, just south of 40 yards on the pickup. You're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
On first down, Johnson jostles free. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That 2nd down play, that's a -4.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Yellow 80! Real right, 22! Mike 57. Come on. 57. Mike 57. Hey, Delta.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2. At the 30.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Let's go one more.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
3rd down.
Here we go. 56. Here we go. 46. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Check. 56. Mike. 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Mike 56. Under. 56. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 56.
Here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Throwing. Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys! Michael Gallup, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Set! Go 20! Check 48, the mark. Watch the out. 36. Hey, 22. Easy, alert.
On 3rd down, Johnson. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
First down, 44-yard line.
Here we go.
On first down, it's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Don't get nervous.
Now Stafford. Looking in zone for Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
There goes a deep ball in zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Jalen Smith in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Throwing is Stafford. And he's going to go down again. DeMarcus Lawrence. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yes, exactly right.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Pollard again. Room to run inside the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Cowboys, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.